When it's time for an adventure on the open highway, one quick call to American Family Insurance gets you headed in the right direction. Our Travel Peace of Mind package is there if you encounter a bump in the road. From roadside assistance to rental car coverage, we have you covered. Find a local agent or get a quote at amfam.com.
American Family Insurance.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hello. Welcome in to the Eric Zane Show Podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures each and every day of the work week. Oh my gosh. A lot to get to today. I mean, this is ridiculous. As O'Neill makes himself comfortable. He just got kicked out of his favorite chair. We do this show from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. Baldwin Ace Hardware, a beacon of DIY awesomeness in the Northland. If you ever want to reach out to me, easiest way is old school email. Eric@ericzaneshow.com. That is the Shoreliners Striping inbox. Looking forward to tomorrow recording Who Are These Podcasts with Carl. No, I better not call him. He gets butthurt when I call him. Because I don't set it up. I just call him. And he gets annoyed with me. I did find out yesterday that it'll be Carl and the Erics. Eric Zane, your old pal Eric Zane, and Eric Nagel. E-Rock, who spells his name like a jackass. E-R-I-K. He runs Compound Media. He's the one who edits Anthony's racist bullshit. I love E-Rock. I love Anthony, even though he's a fucking racist psychopath. You got to love people in this world. You really do. You got to protect those that you love, even the racists. Love thy neighbor. Love thy enemy. Love everyone. I do. I love everyone. I even love the former Zaniacs. Because you're wonderful human beings deep down. Something happened along the way that made you fucked up. NW980 says, I love you too, Eric. What show are we reviewing? Well, I finally got fuckface Carl to let me know. It took forever. This was the text exchange. What show are we doing? This is Monday. I haven't picked it yet. Let me know if you have a request. No. I told him I would have some Zumach clips. Some of you know what that means. Yesterday, 2:29 p.m. I said, what show are we reviewing? Now, mind you, we're recording Saturday at 2 p.m. All caps. I know. I'll figure it out after we record Who Are These Socials? Which is another one of his shows. And I wrote, hurry up, fuckface. 46 hours till showtime, and Dickface Carl isn't even close to picking a show. 7:43. Idiot writes, as soon as the first period ends, I'll figure it out. He's no doubt watching the Sabres game. Finally, he sends me metapsychics. I don't know anything about this show. I got it yesterday evening, last night. which gives me, well, I haven't even started listening to it, just over 24 hours to review this fucking show. I'm getting some suggestions for review Balls Out with Ben Glaze and Brett Hayes. Or the Ben and Bethany show. Well, yeah, but you see, that show isn't available anymore. So it might be kind of weird. If you are enjoying the show, minus the subscription, please consider signing up. Please consider subscribing. Looking at you, DJ Plunkett, and you, BW Ionia. You can do it for free with your Amazon Prime account. If you don't have an Amazon Prime account, obviously, maybe that isn't in the cards. That's totally fine. But it is offered to you for free if you link up your Amazon Prime account. No pressure. Or if not, just sit through the commercials. You can also throw a few bucks at it. That's up to you. Totally understand. I'm not the high pressure guy that's demanding you give me money. You either want it or you don't. No pressure. Some people it's just not in the cards, and I totally understand that. I just don't know if you're aware that you can sign up with your Amazon Prime. So I'm telling you. I'm filling you in on the information. Okay. There is a weird rivalry going on, well, kind of, between the Grand Rapids Griffins and the Grand Rapids Gold. I know this because I work for both teams. I'm a contracted employee as the PA announcer for the NBA G League team and the American Hockey League affiliate. I don't know where this came from, and I don't know why. Like, it doesn't make much sense to me. The teams coexisted in different venues. The Griffins, of course, have been at the Van Andel Arena since they started their first season, I believe in 1996 or something like that. This is the Grand Rapids Gold's 9th year. They were the Grand Rapids Drive prior to becoming the Gold. So same ownership, just different affiliation. They were affiliated with the Pistons, and this is their second year being affiliated with the Denver Nuggets. And forever, the Gold played at the Deltaplex. That was the scene of the famous Eric Zane Show shot clock incident. The Deltaplex sold. The Gold need a new home. They finalized the deal to play at Van Andel Arena. This is great for me because now I can go to all the games, which, sometimes if it was a Gold / Griffins night, I would always defer to the Griffins. I don't have to worry about that now because they play in the same location. So I don't know what it was, but as soon as the Gold started to have their home games at Van Andel Arena, I'm getting a vibe that the Griffins and the Gold are not on the same page. It's like there's it's more than just nudging them and hey, a little bit of trolling going on and gamesmanship about whose house is this, which is weird because they're totally different types of sports and they don't really share the same audience. Not exactly. So I don't, but it's, I'm hearing more coming from hockey team side towards basketball team side. Basketball team side is kind of oblivious to it. I mean, they don't really care. And basketball team is not really interested in any type of rivalry or, tough talk. But the Griffins seem to be because I hear it. I hear it myself. They don't want to play in the same fucking sandbox. Now, the Gold are well aware of this. but they don't engage. They don't want to do anything that makes them look aggressive. And again, I don't understand the rivalry because they were competing for crowds when one was at the Deltaplex. It's really the same fucking thing. But for some reason, they oh boy, they're in our. We gotta let them have it. So I hear the comments and things like that, and I just ignore it because I'm stuck in the middle. Nix, who works at the arena, suggests having basketball causes the Griffins to lose practice days at the home rink. Oh, so they would have to go to another place. Cole asks, who has the bigger crowds consistently? Oh, the hockey team, without a doubt. The hockey team sells out Friday and Saturday nights. I think the most people I've seen at a basketball game is, I don't know, between 4,000 and 5,000, which is about a half-full arena. But anyway, I love them both. I'm stuck in the middle. But I'm introducing the basketball team last night. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Van Andel Arena. And you're home to the Grand Rapids Griffins. And that's the first time I've done that, and I had no idea I did it. But I feel the director to my right turn his head and look at me, and he and I'm still talking on the microphone, and he nudges me, and I key off the mic. I go, what? He goes, you just called us the Griffins. I go, oh, fuck. Oh, no. Oh, fuck. So then I go, let's start that again. Take two. Oh, man. That was fucking stupid. Oh, my God. I felt bad about that. I wish they'd get along. There's all sorts of shit that has been documented to me as to the odd flexes that have happened, as people like to say. Amanda says, I don't see the problem. It is the home of the Grand Rapids Griffins. Yeah, I could easily have just said, the home of your Grand Rapids Griffins, and of course, the Grand Rapids Gold. Boy. Fucking A. All right. Also, basketball related. I had forgotten about this story, but I wanted to get to this. Last weekend, Jacqueline and Mom went to the game. Now, as the game's getting started, our mascot, Buckets, comes out onto the court, and he's riding one of those little tiny bikes. He actually went. His name is Jeff. He got a little tiny bike, and he's like pedaling out onto the court. Aha! Okay, great. And as I was introducing him earlier in the game, I introduced him as, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the number one mascot in all of sports, Buckets! Now, I also say that when I'm doing hockey and introducing Griff, the Griffins mascot, the number one mascot in all of sports. Fast forward, end of the game. I'm walking out of the arena with my wife and my daughter. And so, there's Jackie. Now, she's not a little kid, obviously. Most of you know that. I would say all of you know that. She's an adult and married. And she's in front of me, and so is Mom, and I'm lagging behind as usual. I see that we are, there's another group joining the same path out of the arena, and it's the guy who plays Buckets, Jeff, and he's wheeling out his little bicycle that he rode out on. He actually purchases himself as a prop, whatever. And Jackie sees the bicycle, and she's reminded that she wants to bring something up with me. Now, she is not aware that the guy leading the bike, she hasn't put two and two together that could possibly actually be Buckets, Jeff, walking his bicycle out of the arena to go home. So it's us and then Buckets with his family who were there watching the game, watching him perform. And he's really athletic and fun. I love Buckets. And he's got his little bike. Jackie's reminded of my comment at the start. And she goes, hey! Now, she has no clue that that's Buckets, though. And she's as close as, me to this camera away from Buckets. But she thinks it's just some guy with that bicycle, which reminded her to say this. Hey, the game started, and you referred to Buckets as the number one mascot in all of sports. And I know this is going to get bad. And I go, yep, he is. You said that. By the way, this sounds like something a kid would say. You said that about, or you say that about Griff with the Griffins. He's the number one mascot in all of sports. And I just said, okay. And then she goes, he sucks. Now he doesn't. And I go, well, I sense the opportunity. And I go, well, okay, you're speaking your mind, and you're speaking your mind to him right now. What? I go, yeah, he's right next to you. And he's smiling. And I'm like, oh, my God. And she immediately tries to fix it. Oh, I didn't mean, oh, my God, you asshole. You big mouth asshole. Try to get her on here.
Hello.
Hey, you're not at work yet.
No, I had physical therapy.
Okay, hey, you're on the podcast.
I figured.
What do you think I'm informing the audience about right now? It's got to be something dumb that you did.
That I did?
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Thank you. Okay, thanks. You too.
What are you spending money on?
Well, no, every Friday after PT, I get me and my coworkers tropical smoothie.
Aha. Okay.
Mm-hmm. What did I do? I don't know what I did.
In the last week, you did something embarrassing and terrible that you felt bad about. Not to me.
To Buckets?
Oh, my God.
You're just now talking about this?
Yeah, it slipped my mind.
Oh.
Jesus. Oh.
I did it. You could have given me a heads up.
Well, how did I know you were going to indict somebody and talk shit about them?
I didn't talk shit. I was just throwing you under the bus because you say that for the Griffins.
What? You said, oh, yeah, you called him the number one mascot. He's not. He's right there. I mean, the fact that, he came out on the court on that bicycle.
Right.
So who do you think's going to be walking out of the arena with the bicycle?
I didn't think about it.
The bicycle reminded you to talk about it.
No, it did not.
Well, why else would you bring it up right then? It had
because
to.
I swear I didn't do it on purpose.
So I then said, well, he's right there. You can tell him. And then you're like, yeah, I didn't. Oh, my God. It was so awkward.
Was he mad at me?
I haven't spoken to him. I'm sure he laughed it off. He's a really nice guy that you insulted right in front of his wife.
I did not insult him. All I said was that he's the number one mascot in all sports, and you say that for the Griffins.
Well, that would be like if I'm walking around and someone said that about me. He said, "Oh yeah, he's not the number one. He's like, no way, he's not number one."
I'll say sorry to him next time I see him.
You did right then, but it was pointless. It was dumb, you know?
I don't think he cares.
Hey, what was the name of the nice guy who was the DJ at your wedding? He's listening right now.
Oh.
Last name of Plunkett.
Yeah.
Was it Dan?
I think so.
I forget. He listens. He's been here the last couple of days.
Yeah.
I forgot his first name. Nick. That's it. Nick.
Nick, that's what it is.
Hi, Nick.
Yes. Why did I think Dan too? That's funny.
We're both, because we're related. We're like one and the same.
That's true.
Ryan says you insulted right in front of his wife, Mrs. Buckets. His poor son, Buckets Jr., will never look up to his old man again and has lost all hope. You did that.
Buckets Jr.
Everybody wants you to end this call abruptly by yelling, "Dad, I gotta go."
No, I will never do that again.
I'm going to find that audio, by the way. I have a trove of audio that I have to pour over that an anonymous person gave me.
Yeah, I thought you had it.
Yeah. All right.
That's funny.
So what are we doing for family dinner on Sunday?
Spaghetti.
Oh, thank God. I'll have to make my spaghetti sauce.
Yeah, it'd be delicious.
Are you going to wear your shirt?
My shirt?
Yeah. What's the T-shirt that has something to do with spaghetti on it?
Oh, yeah.
Eat spaghetti, no regretti or something. What is it?
Yeah, I will wear that. I forgot about that.
All right.
That's funny.
Audience members are suggesting that Buckets is going to hang himself while wearing the suit.
From the basketball hoop?
Yeah, it's all your fault. Oh, my God.
No. Oh, no.
All right.
Okie dokie.
Okay, have a good one. I love you.
Okay, love you.
I love you too. There we go. Princess of the Forest. Jeff, the mascot. I should, hold on a second here. I will, call the boss over at the basketball team, or I'll text him. Yo, ... Do you have Bucket's cell phone? ? I need to get Buckets on to get him with his take of when he heard Jacqueline say, "He sucks. He's not the number one mascot in all of sports. That's Griff." What a crock of shit. My God. Ryan says he wants Buckets and Jackie to hash it out live. Not a bad idea. I can make that happen as soon as I get Jeff's contact, who plays Buckets. Now, you will never see Jeff's face. The mascots have a code. BW Ionia says, I think this is the start of the Great Grand Rapids Mascot War. My first chuckle of the day is because of Kenny. He writes, Buckets gives no fuckets what Jackie says about him. Fuck. Buckets gives no fuckets? My God. While at the basketball game yesterday, I was informed of something that I did not know. And this might be something new to you, too. The game's getting ready to tip off. And you hear, let's get it started now. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started now. And, yeah, get ready for the big tip off. Everybody's fired up. Yeah, ready. Let's go. Let's kick some ass. Buckets is on his little bike, probably weeping because of the insult from Jackie. And then Phil, my guy on the team, the Grand Rapids Gold, my director, he says, I can't believe that song is, that's not the original version of that song. And I'm wondering if, of the live audience right now that's watching this, the 3 or 4 dozen of you, what is that song originally known as? because I was not aware of this. The song came out by the Black Eyed Peas. Black Eyed Peas is 2003. Nick, the DJ, knows it. NW980 knows it. Cole knows it. That song originally was titled Let's Get Retarded. I had no idea. It seems everybody did know that, and I did not. Are you serious? Let's Get Retarded? I like how on the song that you're familiar with, the one that is actually played, Fergie's busting out, let's get it started. But when that song was originally made,
Let's get retarded in here.
The comment, they changed it so the NBA would use it. So the NBA says, hey, Black Eyed Peas, we really like that song, but can you switch it from Let's Get Retarded to Let's Get It Started?
Let's get retarded in here.
So fucked up.
And the bass keeps running. Whiskey style. Everybody, let's get into it. Get stupid, get retarded, get retarded, get retarded. Let's get retarded. Let's get retarded in here.
Come on.
Let's get retarded in here. Let's get retarded. Let's get retarded in here. Let's get retarded.
I'm picturing this at some point had to be played on the radio. Stevie says, is this a joke? No. When they originally wrote this song, it was called Let's Get Retarded. It came out in 2003. So, oh my God, 97 PST. Excited about the new one from the Black Eyed Peas. Here we go.
Let's get retarded.
It's called Let's Get Retarded.
Lose control of body and soul. Don't move too fast, people just take it slow. Don't get ahead. If the new kid, it's everybody, let's get into it. Get stupid, get retarded, get retarded.
The fact that they go get retarded.
Let's get retarded. Let's get retarded in here. Let's get retarded.
Some of the comments, the fact that this is not a parody made by someone, but actually made by the Black Eyed Peas, makes this so much fucking better. This person says, I remember hearing this version once as a kid. I haven't heard it since. Thought I was in a parallel universe. Oh, my God. This person says, I had a toothbrush as a kid that would play music when you brush, and this was the song that played. My God. Yeah, it's like the Mandela effect, isn't it? Luckily, we found it. It's actually real. It was on Spotify for a while. Oh, my God. I remember being so mad as a kid, this song suddenly got changed from Let's Get Retarded to Let's Get It Started on the radio, and no one would believe this was the real song, so they actually did play it on the radio. How the fuck? Let's go, let's check out this one for the Black Eyed Peas. Oh, I'm just loving Fergie. Oh, it feels so good. Hey, that's right, everybody. Yeah. Let's get retarded. It's a Black Eyed Peas for all you retards. This is a noise that a retarded person would make.
Let's get ill, that's the deal at the gate. This is the time in your belly. Can't move them now, do not. Everybody. Let's get retarded in here.
That's absurd. I was shocked about that. I'm only shocked about that because the world, has trained me that is not okay. If I ever say that, a little, the hairs go up in the back of my neck. I have been trained appropriately, and that's okay. Sam the Jew says the word retard is not offensive. Well, you see, I don't know if we can weigh in on that. I don't know if that's okay, Sam. I can't really get behind that. I think it is. And, people who have family members with disabilities, they may say, no, it is because of the way it's used. Now, I also know there are people who have family members with special needs and actually do use that word. Now, those are outliers. And people who don't have a family member that, since I don't have a family member with a cognitive disability, I cannot, these are the rules. I cannot say the R word. I'm not supposed to. I do sometimes on the show. Okay, but I try not to say it in the way that would be, I try to couch it in a particular way. I try to thread the needle because it's an excellent word. It's an effective word. It's very strong. If you call somebody retarded, it has impact, So you got to be very, very careful on the use of the word retarded. In fact, it's very, very minimal amount of circumstances that you can bust that out and not get in trouble. And I'll know it when I see it. Also, if you say retarded, like a person with a East Coast accent, like R-E-E Todd id, R-E-E-T-O-D-D id, retarded, you can get more mileage out of it than actually correct pronunciation of the word. That's what Chris in Maine is suggesting. But when it comes to the friends of mine who have family members that have cognitive disabilities, there's more than one that use that word. Stu has a brother with Down syndrome, and Stu uses it. I got another friend named Andrea, and she uses it. And I'm like, oh, boy. But I would not just bust it out. You just can't, mix company. Oh, yeah, look at that. And then say it. Oh, yeah, it looks like a stupid R word. If you do it that way, you see, that's full on discriminatory hate. And that's much worse. So you won't catch me diving in that pool like Sam the Jew. Mr. Tophus Barrel says it's just easier not to use it. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is the safest bet, and I agree with that. Sam the Jew is he's a butt fuck, okay? He writes, now he's actually taking the definition of the word and posting it. Yeah, we know. We've all been there. Yes, to the true definition. We all know. Don't insult our intelligence, okay? We're well aware what that means, you fool. My God. Cole writes, are our word rhymes with Memards allowed to use the word still? I don't know. BW Ionia writes, there's policies and procedures. Check the manual before using it. Absolutely. And Cole, yeah, that's a horrible question to ask. You sick fuck. Yeah, you can't just bust that out. The world has done a good job of, culling the use of that. Tophus says calling a man a fucking cunt face is still totally acceptable. Can't drop the E at a U says sheet music says R word all the time. I don't know what that means. Sheet music. Nick in the arena says policy is like, I don't know if I want to even. Policy is like N-word. Make sure there is none around. What? Chris from Buffalo says, I put the R word and the N word on the same shelf these days. Away. It ain't worth it. Yeah. Oh, I'm with you. N word, R word, and F rhymes with bag. And F rhymes with bag as derivatives because you've got F rhymes with, there's baggot. You call somebody F rhymes with baggot or an F rhymes with bag, you're fucked. What about D rhymes with bike? I think you can get in big trouble for that deal. Like if I'm on this show dropping the N word, the R word, F rhymes with baggot, F rhymes with bag, and D rhymes with bike, I think there's some problems. My wife would kick my ass. This is the ultimate litmus test. I can't be on here spewing that type of shit. All right? Because my wife, if she finds out about that, I'm fucking dead. Now, Sam, you might be married to some devil lady who doesn't have a problem with you using horrible language like that. But, it's just not happening in this household. I've got daughters to answer to. I've got extended family to answer to. If I'm on here using the words that you use regularly in the synagogue, that's, fucking crazy. Ask yourself, would you use that language in front of the rabbi? Sam, you're on your way to earning the asshole of the day with that type of horrible take about using these words. You may have satisfied all of the criteria to be the asshole of the day. Chris in Maine says, what about the word gypsy? I was told that is offensive. Well, it may be, but I haven't gotten so far. I would still call someone a gypsy. I would even say, you ugly, dumb gypsy. All right. Let's get it started now. Let's get it started near. Great song that way. I don't know why they could very easily when they made it. I can't believe of all the members of the Black Eyed Peas, when they said, all right, this song is going to be a hit. It's called Let's Get R Word. That no one tried to talk them out of it. It wasn't that long ago. It was 20 years ago. I'm pretty sure that the use of that word was frowned upon. But not only did they make the song, but the radio stations played it. Here's a new one from the Black Eyed Peas. Let's get retarded. Fucking stupid. Unacceptable. Friends, if you are enjoying the show on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, I'm going to interrupt your broadcasting and send you on your way. The only way you can get the full show is by going to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live or download the Twitch app, and you can get the show, the full show, that way. Thank you, though, for spending some time with us today. Twitch and Facebook brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Twitter brought to you by Blue Frost IT. As always, you can download the show wherever you download podcasts. I'm on all of them. Email the show, eric@ericzaneshow.com, and the Shoreliner Striping inbox. Got a Patreon. I'm looking forward to getting after that today. Patreon.com/Eric Zane for more podcasting. I just dropped a new episode of the Insane Asylum. A little bit later on, I will be dropping the latest edition of the Lost Zane recordings. Tomorrow, Who Are These Zanes? With guest roaster Ryan, episode 14. Thank you to Bosco's Pub for being on board with the show. I'll be working next week. I'll let you know which day. Bosco's Pub in Hudsonville, part of Terrace Square. Go get a burger at Bosco's. You will not be let down. The cooks are very handsome. I'm not a cook, though. I'm a kitchen assistant officially. I'm a burger assembler and a fry maker. I'm like, hey, yeah, why don't you go make the fries? I am. Thank you to A&E Heating and Cooling. 616-516-8579. Get your furnace tuned up. Well, we're getting close to the end of the heating season, so if you get into the weeds, you need some scheduled maintenance to get that thing fixed. Call upon A&E Heating and Cooling. 616-516-8579. I suggest getting on a schedule where you see these handsome gentlemen twice a year. Once to tune up the AC, once to tune up the furnace. That is preventative maintenance. Keeps that equipment running right. 616-516-8579. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. 231-332-6505. You can get a mortgage from anywhere in the U.S. just by reaching out to Mario on that number. He has offices throughout the United States that can help you. Even if there's an office, if your estate doesn't have an office, they can still help you. The only place that they can't get you a mortgage if you live in the states of Maine, Alaska, Hawaii, and South Carolina. That's it. 231-332-6505. That's who you call when you're thinking about a refi or maybe a mortgage, a pre-approved mortgage to buy a home. NMLS number 3035, the fastest growing mortgage company in America, right here, based right here, the headquarters, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. I want to get into, speaking of basketball, the Toronto Raptors tried very hard to honor women. Did you know that March is Women's History Month? All right. And what the Raptors did was they had a few players say what women mean to them. I think the question was why they, or the thing that they were had to respond to was why they believe the statement, girls run the world. Now, they give these basketball players the context. Yeah, you're going to be talking. It's, Women's History Month. Hang on a second. I got to send a text to Buckets. Okay. Yo, Buckets, ... Jeff, period. This is Eric Zane, period. Phil gave me your number, period. I have a question I need to ask you about when my daughter insulted you after the game, period. That was hilarious, period. Can I call you about that on my podcast? Question mark. Like now. If he agrees, we'll get him and Jackie on. That'll be awesome. All right. Girls run the world. Now, even if you don't believe that, they say, yeah, hey, this is for Women's History Month. Say something nice about girls running the world. 3 of the players made a comment. Scotty Barnes said, all women are great because they are queens. Okay, now that's a nice, easy thing to say. He was the 3rd member of the team to speak. The first 2 didn't do so well. The first guy is Malachi Flynn. He says something that you're going to hear. The second one is, his first name is Precious. Precious Achiuwa. Precious Achiuwa. All right. Audio check. Video check. These are their responses. Beyonce said girls run the world. Why do you think that's true?
Girls run the world because they're the only one that can procreate. They birth everybody.
Okay.
Girls run the world because they're the only one that can procreate. They birth everybody.
They focused on they're the only ones who can procreate. They birth everybody.
Girls run the world because they're the only one that can procreate. They birth everybody. All women are great because they're all queens.
Okay, so the last guy, he tried to save it. All women are great because they birth everybody.
Girls run the world because they're the only one that can procreate. They birth everybody. All women are great.
So you're telling me then that because when you make these videos, and I've seen this process before on with the minor league teams, they do these all the time. The best thing you can come up with is they're the only ones who can procreate. They birth everyone. That's why if they decide they don't want to birth anybody, well, I mean, that's true. They've got the power. These women have the power. All they do is have babies. That's why they're in charge. Hang on, I got to send another text. I was just wondering because there was a bad man on the loose in Holland, and I wanted to make sure you were okay. There was like a guy who shot somebody dead in Holland where my daughter lives. So I texted her and I wrote, "Are you up?" She said, "Yes." Why? Stevie's really annoyed with the, women rule the world because they have babies. She's really annoyed with that. Well, let me bring it back to the pack. Same question asked. I want to make sure I get this right. Beyonce said,
in the world because they're the only one that can procreate. They birth everybody. All women are great because they're all queens.
Okay, now I don't necessarily think that anyone rules the world. That's what I would start with. I would start with, no one rules the world. Men don't rule the world, and nor do women. People rule the world. And then they'd say, "Oh, thanks. We don't need you. We need someone to say something poignant about, they're in charge because they pump out the babies." The only way I would say women rule the world is if I was like in the doghouse and I needed to fix it. Like if I said something fucked up about women, you know, some horrible misogynistic comment, like an idiot would say, and then I had to fix it. Then I would come up with some fucking platitude. Well, yeah, we're just stupid. It's all up to girls. No, it's not. It's just men and women. It's people in general. So I don't want to hear any of this one gender's better than the other gender bullshit. So I would be a terrible person to ask this question. Now, if you want to be the guy to just suck up and say, they rule the world because they're all queens. I mean, that's also an ass-kissing bullshit comment to make. No one rules anything. At least they shouldn't. You can even go so far as to say, well, men think they rule the world because they have a tendency to be more assholes than women. But I tend to think that women have less incidence of being an asshole. That's as far as I'll go. I would say that if you lined up a mixed bag of people, there would be a higher percentage of men assholes than women assholes. That is as far as I will go. But no, I'm not going to go and give some special accolade based on gender. I judge a person by, you know, who was that? I think it was Martin Luther King. He said, in his I Have a Dream speech, I dreamed live in a world where a man is not judged by the color of his skin, but rather by the quality of his character. I'm paraphrasing, but I think I'm pretty close on that, which I feel good about. I would say I want to live in a world where I judge people not by their gender, but by whether or not they're an asshole or not. That's the Eric I Have a Dream speech. I want to judge people on whether or not they're a fucking moron or not. If you are an asshole and a moron, then you will be judged. That's how you should be judged. Right? Does that make sense? The fact that these guys said this.
Girls run the world because they're the only one that can procreate. They birth everybody.
Such a stupid thing to say, but made worse because the person who made the video, you know, when you make those things, there's a person who's paying attention to it, and they're like, oh, yeah, okay, this is good. Let's run it. Let's give it to social media. They'll post it. Not one person did that. They completely dropped the ball. Ryan says it is anchor man, not anchor lady. And that is a scientific fact. No, it is anchor lady or anchor. In the American Hockey League, we have sometimes women that are part of the officiating crew. Now, forever they were known as linesmen. And then it's listed as, hey, it said lines persons. And then there's two names. And I go, yeah, lines persons doesn't work. And the Griffins, whatever, PR or whatever they are, they go, oh, well, then say lines people. I said, I'm not doing that either. That sounds stupid. Lines woman, lines men, linesman, lines woman. What's wrong with that? And they said, yeah, actually that works. I go, well, of course it works. Because that's what these people are. So I don't know why this saw the light of day. You can't blame the athletes. These are stupid people. All right. Hold the phone. I've been calling this dude Jeff Fucking Josh.
Hello, it's Josh.
Josh, Eric Zane.
Zane, what's up, my man?
You had a wonderful game last night again. You there? What the fuck you doing? Yo, Josh, I think you put me on mute.
Oh, you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
It was good seeing you yesterday.
Yeah, you too.
Sorry I called you Jeff. Holy shit. I swear, Phil, because I had forgotten your fucking name because I'm an idiot. I always call you Buckets.
No, it's totally fine. I mean, half the guys back there don't even know. And I'll be honest, Jeff's my brother. So it's all good.
Holy shit. Okay. How long have you been mascotting?
Since 2004.
Okay. So this is a long run for you. What did you do prior to Buckets?
So with knowing Griff and Finn, I've done games at the Griffins. But where I got my start was at CMU. And I did the mascot up there for the basketball team. And actually, the mascot there looks the same as what Buckets does. It's the same, I guess, idea. It's got a basketball head. It just doesn't have the muscle. So let's say I upgraded from being rowdy up at CMU, and I graduated, and now I'm muscular. Buckets, you know.
Okay, yeah, the suit that they get you in for Buckets is all jacked. You know, it's all really like ripped, but you are in excellent physical shape because on the court you do one-handed push-ups quite well. I mean, several of them. You've been working obviously very, very hard to get that type of strength. And it takes a long time, and you have to be in very good shape to be in that warm suit the whole game.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I'm getting up there in age, but my passion for doing mascotting is just, it takes over. It's like, I forget about all the aches and pains when I get in the costume, and I just go through my routine, you know? So that's one thing I've just kind of patented, I guess, as a mascot, is doing one-handed push-ups, and the crowd loves it.
Yeah, they do.
I just try to work it up. So I try to do as many as I can, and be ready for the next game.
I can also detect some skill in dance. You're quite a solid dancer on the court, Josh.
Well, yeah, you guys might think I am definitely not a dancer.
Well,
I just go out and just try to make it look good.
You were doing the stanky leg yesterday.
Well, you know, that's just stuff I do, but I wouldn't say it's good, but yeah.
Oh, no, it's good.
I appreciate your honesty.
People love you.
It looks good.
People love you. Have you ever been involved in like a mascot fucking floor hockey game or anything like that?
Yep, all of them. If you look back from when the Griffins had musical chairs, I know it's on YouTube, but if you look back when the Griffins had the musical chairs, maybe 6-8 years ago, I actually was Blitz, the old Rhino.
Oh, okay.
And I won it, man.
You did win.
Griff came up to me and was like, because we've known each other for a long time. He says, "Hey, you got to win this." I said, "It's not about. I'm going to win it. I'm going to win it.
Oh, you knew it.
It's going to happen."
Okay, good deal.
So I'm just competitive that way, and I won it. You know.
Yeah. Hey, hang on. It's gonna go quiet for a second. I gotta bring Jackie in, my daughter.
Okay.
Okay, stand by. So as we do that, I promised you I would make this happen, and so she needs to be in here on this. Let's get it started now. Let's get it started in here.
Oh.
Hey, hang on a quick second. I got one more thing for you. What do you mean?
What?
Okay, hold on. Jackie, say hello to my friend Buckets.
Oh, God.
Good morning.
Oh, hello.
Now,
Let's go.
Buckets, you were walking out with your little mini bike, and for some reason, Jackie then was reminded that I had said the number one mascot in all of sports.
No, that's not what reminded me. I had
Whatever.
idea it was Bucket.
Well, the timing was terrible. I said, you go, hey, by the way, you can't call Buckets the number one mascot in all of sports. That's Griff. Now, Josh, you heard all of that, right?
Yeah, by chance I did, and I'll be honest, it didn't hurt my feelings.
Oh, thank God.
I gather all that energy and I just use it at the next game. And anything that she would have said about Griff or Finn, you know what? We go back a long ways, and they might say, "Hey, I can do something you can't do." Well, fine, I can do something you can't do. So it's like I was telling Zane there that it's like a brotherhood. It's almost like a club. And when you get to know mascots, I mean, it really is.
Yeah, Jackie.
Niche family,
So quit trying to start fights, Jacqueline.
Oh, sorry. You are saying the same thing for two different sports.
Oh. All right. Well, I just wanted to make you uncomfortable and
You dummy.
Josh is a wonderful sport, and
He's a good sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I enjoy it, and if you're at the next game, I'll point you out, and I'll come over and I'll razz you.
Yeah.
Well, you scared me last game. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't remember.
You were over by me, and you just came out of nowhere, and you scared me. But it's fine.
Oh, Buckets is the best.
You guys sit by the north end basket, right?
We were. Yeah, I was with a bunch of friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, next game.
Until next.
If you're
time.
there, we're pointing you out. It's going
good.
Down.
I deserve
It's going
that.
down. No, it's all fun. It's all fun.
I know.
Josh,
You're a good sport.
Josh, you are a pro's pro. Jacqueline, have a nice day.
All right.
Okay,
bye.
guys, I'll talk to you. Thank you so much. Okay, you get a box of food showing up at your door from HelloFresh. Best day ever. You're like, oh, man, I cannot wait to open that thing up. That amazing packaging that keeps everything cold and fantastic. You pull out the meals. You're right. We're going to eat like queens and kings at this household with these meals from HelloFresh. Best day ever. Bonus. You get 65% off that box plus free shipping. Oh, my God. HelloFresh has never had a deal like this, and it's only because you are a listener of the Eric Zane Show podcast. HelloFresh.com/Zane65 and use the code Zane65. You get 65% off plus free shipping. That's incredible. HelloFresh.com/Zane65 and then use the code Zane65 for 65% off plus free shipping. Man, I'm telling you, this is life-changing. The food shows up at the door. Everything laid out perfectly. If you know how to read, then you know how to cook amazing meals for your family. Okay? Problem if you don't know how to read. Track down someone in your inner circle who knows how to read, and they will help you. That's how simple this is. HelloFresh, the absolute best fast and fresh recipes. HelloFresh's latest line of meals featuring robust flavors and filling portions are ready in less than 15 minutes. Enjoy taste and quality done quick with recipes like, get this, falafel power bowls. What? Seared steak and potatoes with béarnaise sauce. I had to practice saying that. Or Southwest pork and bean burritos. You'll find quality ingredients in HelloFresh's recipes. In fact, ingredients travel from the farm to your home in less than 7 days, so you know they're fresh. Okay? Again, go to HelloFresh.com/Zane65. Use code Zane65 for 65% off plus free shipping. Check it out. HelloFresh. Eric Zane for HelloFresh. You're going to save 60% on Eric Zane for HelloFresh. You're going to save 60% plus free shipping. Pay attention. Here are the options for you. Take the family out to eat, and then you're bankrupt by the end of the month. That's out. Okay, I'm going to plan a bunch of meals. I'm going to do research, hours on end, go to the store, buy all this stuff. Somebody's going to crash into my car. I'm going to get home. Nobody's going to like it because I didn't do the recipe right. The instructions weren't clear. It goes to waste in the fridge. Blow even more money. And then everybody thinks you're a terrible preparer of meals. Or you can call upon America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh. I would just like you to try this. We go way back, you and I. So just try this just once. Go to HelloFresh.com/Zane60, and then you'll use the code Zane60 for 60% off plus free shipping. So the box comes to your door after you make the various checks of what you like and how much food you actually want to get, and then let it play out. It comes to your door. The instructions are perfect. They're on individual cards. All of the portions are measured so that nothing goes to waste. You plate the food, you pass it along to the family at the table, and they're like, this is fantastic. I am not kidding you. It is a life game changer. HelloFresh. Again, you go to HelloFresh.com/Zane60 and use the code Zane60, and that's 60% off plus free shipping. Now, this offer does not last forever, so now is the perfect time. As I'm talking to you, log on, do it, sign up, and then get ready to have some fun and be admired by your family and friends. And make sure you tell me how it goes. Reach out to me on email or whatever. Scream at me when I'm running down the street and tell me that I was right, because I am right. HelloFresh is fantastic. I swear by it. I love these folks. HelloFresh.com/Zane60 and use the code Zane60 for 60% off plus free shipping. They didn't become America's #1 meal kit by doing anything other than being the best. Thank you, HelloFresh.
Did you know that yearly Medicaid renewals will start again soon? This means millions of people who were enrolled in Medicaid during the pandemic may no longer be eligible for coverage. If this may impact you, the good news is you have options. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield can help answer your questions so you can find an affordable health plan for you and your family. We want you to feel confident you're covered. Click to learn more. Policy exclusions and limitations apply. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Community Insurance Company.
Josh.
Bye.
All right.
Thank
See
you,
you
Jim.
guys. Yep. My pleasure. Wow. So there we go. Oh, man. That worked out splendidly. Holy shit. Let's get it started now. Let's get it started. Ooh-hoo. We're going to get Rick from TC Paintball on in just a minute. Hire me on Cameo, cameo.com/Eric Zane. Hello to my friends at Johnson Carpet One Discount Outlet in Granville, Michigan. When you need flooring, this is who you go to see. They already are the lowest price for flooring in Michigan. Add 10% off when you mention my name. That's no joke. They buy all of the best brands, best styles of everything: carpeting, vinyl plank, laminate, tile, ceramic, hardwood. They buy it all in bulk. Trucks showing up every day of the week. They put it on the floor. You go and you buy it. It's there till it's gone. Johnson Carpet One Discount Outlet. Mention my name. They're on Chicago Drive, right beyond the Little Caesars on the north side of the street in Granville, Michigan. It is worth the time and distance to go from wherever you are to Johnson Carpet One Discount Outlet. We're getting close to pool season. They're getting ready to start digging the backyards to put in-ground pools in. Jennison Pool and Spa Depot has added 2 enormous crews to get this done in short order into your backyard. You can be having the parties on your brand new pool deck this summer. Jennison Pool and Spa Depot will install it into the backyard of your existing home. Okay? You're going to get a fiberglass or a vinyl liner in-ground pool. It's going to be fantastic, and you're going to have so much fun on the deck of your pool and in your pool this summer. Reach out for your 30-minute consultation, in-store consultation, to find out all the particulars. 616-457-0500. That's 616-457-0500 for Jennison Pool and Spa Depot. Thank you to Blue Frost IT, the managed IT service provider for this program. If you have a small or medium-sized business, reach out to Blue Frost IT, and they can consult you on what you need to do to upgrade your tech, and they can help you manage it. You have your own IT department with Blue Frost IT. 616-200-8550. All right. I'm late. I told Rick I was going to call him at 9. I hate being late. But we had some pressing issues. We had Mascot Gate.
Hello, Eric Zane World.
Hello, Twitter world. This is Rick. It's funny. I got so busy I didn't even have time to do it, but I'll play it when we hang up. But it's easy to get everybody caught up. Of course, that Alex Murdaugh trial. Am I saying Murdaugh or Murdoch?
I don't know. I knew it was about, and I kind of avoided learning about it. I don't want to think about that shit. I hate that killing your own family news, man.
Right.
It's so depressing.
It is. It's horrible. You know, I didn't really watch when this incident happened. I remember thinking, "Oh, well, this guy's guilty." And then, when the trial was going on, they showed a video that was uploaded like TikTok or Snapchat of Alex, Mr. Murdaugh, and the wife and the kid who were dead, like minutes before they were murdered. In the families, I guess they have a kennel. The dude had a ton of money, and they're walking through the kennel looking at the animals. Okay. And then that's all you needed, because then 1 minute after that, they're suddenly dead. And it's like, God, no wonder why the jury only took 3 hours of deliberation. They probably walked in there 1 minute after they sat down. They all said he's guilty, and then just waited, and so it wouldn't look ridiculous.
Right.
And then O.J. Simpson weighs in. Of all people to have a take on double murder, the juice goes on Twitter.
I don't understand why he does anything on Twitter. Is he just trying to hide in plain sight? Is he delusional? I don't get it.
Well, that's interesting. We will never know. The one thing about him is, even though he's commenting on double murders and giving his hot take on that, O.J. Simpson of all people, he's never once cracked. He's never once referenced what happened. He only talks about fantasy football and current events, despite an unbelievable multitude of people on the comments and the replies letting him have it. He doesn't. He's Teflon. I don't know how the fuck he does it.
I don't either. And, he usually avoids, like you said, he talks about those subjects, but then he referenced himself being in prison and the prison sentence he got. And I was just like, well, don't you understand, dipshit? That was a makeup call. You know what a makeup call is? You play professional sports. You got sent away because everyone knows that you killed those two people.
Right. But it's still stunning to me that he has, of all the things, because let's just say you or I did this and we got away with murder. And then we get out of prison and we have a lot of money and a pension. All we have to do is nothing. Vanish.
100%.
He is out in front of everything. My God.
I think that he is literally hiding in plain sight. I think in his mind, he says to himself, you know what? If I go out and I am a public figure and I let people see me and I stand in some spotlight over here, then less people will believe that I'm guilty because I'm willing to be in public. I think that's where he's at. But even that's delusional. You got to be you got to be an idiot not to think that he did it.
Well, here's the other thing. That was 30 years ago when that happened. A lot of people are aging out. A lot of young people aren't really convinced. They think it's cloudy. It's murky to them. They don't have as clear of a picture as old guys like you and I do.
Oh, I remember that day. I remember the day in the slow speed chase in L.A., man. I remember seeing that on the news. I think it was during the NBA Finals.
Yeah, it sure was. And I remember the days leading up to it. I was on the radio, and there was kind of just rumors swirling, and we're like, "Oh my God, he may have killed a couple of people."
Yeah, and you don't want to believe it because of a celebrity or whatever. They always get your sympathy initially, but man, as that trial wore on, the evidence came out. I was like, holy shit! That it kind of goes back to a previous conversation you and I had about these guys, these professional athletes, especially in football. And I am a football fan. I'm a big football fan. But these guys are conditioned to be the most alpha and the most aggressive versions of themselves, and then they can't turn it off. People can't turn it off. And when they get into everyday situations, they can't turn off that alpha mentality, I don't think. It's kind of like a lot of times you see combat veterans when they try to come back to the real world. It's very difficult on them, I don't like that comparison. No? Combat veterans, I mean, they have my utmost respect. They went out there, they did a job, even if the reason they're doing the job is not as clear as the government would make them think. They go out there and they're doing an honorable thing by serving their country, and they can't control the situation. Right. They can't control, people shooting at them and shit like that. So I give all those veterans a huge pass. Yeah, well, I guess what I meant by that is they still have a lot of stress on them that challenges them, and in a lot of cases makes them do things that they wouldn't want to do once they get back home, and they end up doing that, whether it be hurting themselves or others, Right. Yeah. The 22, man, it's really hard to believe that they have so many, suicides every day because of the shit that they had to deal with. The human psyche, once it gets damaged, those scars last forever, man. It really affects where your life goes, the trajectory of your life after you have any type of scar like that. 100%. And not only because there are people I know who didn't fight, who weren't in combat, but just the actual amount of stress of knowing you could get blown up every day. Somebody lobs a hand grenade onto the base from the enemy, or just the regiment, the structure of living a military life takes a toll on a person. Yeah, it's like they're white knuckling it through life. I can make a very faint comparison here, but when I go somewhere like pulling my trailer and I'm driving through bad weather, you got this this heavy ass trailer behind you pushing you all over the road, driving through bad weather, and you're white knuckling because you're holding on to that steering wheel, you're ultra focused, it's ultra tense all that time, and then finally when you get to where you're going, you can relax a little bit. Yeah. I can't imagine white knuckling like that to a much higher degree for a much longer period of time, and what that can do to you. Oh my God, you're not kidding. You are not kidding. Okay. We also, the other one I sent you was the Toronto Raptors, right? Yes. So 3 basketball players have to talk why women rule the world or whatever. They're expecting some nice, easy thing for them to say. And the 2 dummies say, well, yeah, they have all the babies. They birth everybody. Birth everybody. I mean, my God. I mean, you could even, if you had some sense, could have said, well, I have the utmost respect for people who bring us the joy of life. I mean, there's other ways to say that, but he said, no, 100%. Like, the thought was kind of correct. Like, they're given that respect and that head nod, but the way that it came across was so crude. They birth everybody. Oh, God. What a bad look. Holy cow. Holy I'm so shit. Glad that got saved before it got taken down. And then how about the third guy? What did he say? He said, oh, yeah, well, they're just queens, which really, I mean, come on. He's just trying to say something nice. So I give him credit for that. But, I mean, even that was kind of wonky. You can't just throw out something to pacify them. In my mind, he's standing there, and it probably didn't happen this way, but in my mind, they're all standing next to each other, and he sees the first two go, and then he says this thing kind of like affected by the idiots that spoke in front of him. You know what I mean? He was trying to save it a little bit.
Right on. Jesus. Well, and a lot of these guys in the NBA, they're all whores to begin with. They go to every town and get they play 40 some games on the road. That means 40 some pregnancies during the year. Jesus.
100%.
My God. Yeah. Do not date an athlete. There is no such thing as one partner if you're dating an athlete. They're all slobs.
No way. Yeah.
Holy
especially
shit.
Basketball. They play so many games and so much time away from home, man.
Yeah. But some of these guys, they're young, and I think it's the way of the world. I mean, back in the day, they would have to actually meet women. Nowadays, they can just go on an app, an athlete who's worth millions of dollars. It's a miracle more of these guys don't die of some type of sexually transmitted disease.
For sure. Well, I mean, part of those diseases is those gold diggers, right? That's a disease in itself because that's almost like a whole industry of people that are looking to take advantage of those brand new millionaires that are young, dumb, and full of cum.
I would do that. If I was a woman, I would absolutely go out of my way to be a gold digger. That is a quick, easy way to make a ton of cash.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. What is on your mind? I sent you a couple links. The OJ thing, the Toronto Raptors celebrating Women's Month. Is there anything burning on your brain, Rick from TC Paintball?
Well, I haven't heard you mention. I'm sure you have. I probably just missed it. But we canceled our upcoming Eric Zane Paintball War number 22, I believe it is.
That was my fault. My fault. I'm so sorry. I was just saying I'm so sorry about that. I felt very bad about that.
No, shit happens. I've done it to you in the past too, so it's not a big deal. We'll just move on to the next one. I was looking at dates, and I was thinking like the next week or the following after that, maybe the 19th or the 26th.
Yeah. I mean, let's see. The 19th, I've got hockey on the 19th, and so that's out. And the 26th, I'm up north. Shit, I'm so sorry. We're going to have to go into April.
We'll push into April, and then maybe we'll get some outdoor play as well.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that might work out a little better. And I don't want to make any promises I can't fulfill, but I sent you a picture. We are working on axe throwing right now. We're working on the booths. So there's a little bit of a flicker at the end of the tunnel now. It is happening. So if we push this thing down the road long enough and my project time lines up correctly, then we can get axe throwing integrated into that deal as well.
I saw it. It looked good over there. It looked good.
It's coming along. It is coming along. It's taking me longer than I wanted, obviously, among other things, but it is coming along, and we see some light.
So I have this piece of property up north, very, very dense woods. Have you ever, gone to visit somebody, and they have their property like that, and you guys bust out the paintball guns?
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. We used to do a regular, a yearly catered event where I would go to this family in Ada. We go to their property, and they had a big, a bowl style setup woods behind their house that they would add a little structure or bunker to at a time, once a year. And then every year we'd go out there and there'd be a new little structure that they could use for the game. We've done that a bunch. And then, when you first start playing paintball, at least for me, it was you're trying to get all your buddies involved. And when you go away for a camping weekend, you bring the gear and you go out there a little bit and screw around and play. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. That's where it was born. Obviously evolved to other things in paintball and don't play very much paintball in the woods anymore, but it's fun going back there and kind of doing it that way.
So you mean to tell me if some rich bastard with acreage said, hey, I want you to bring all the gear, I want you to bring the TC paintball to my property, you would do that for the right price?
I would do that for the right price. The problem is, a lot of times they don't want to pay the right price, which is fine because, we're busy here on Saturdays and Sundays with our regular crowd at our regular pricing.
Yeah.
So I don't see a reason to adjust that. And I don't want to travel off-site to do it if I'm not making the same amount of type of money. I don't want to give it away to go travel somewhere. But for the right amount of money, I will definitely make that happen.
Okay.
I got obviously the equipment and trailers. We can do all that.
5 hours of your time getting there, playing, setting up, tearing down, $10,000 minimum.
I would do a minimum number of people in the 15 to 20 range for a minimum number of people, depending on travel time, and right around $50 a person.
Oh my God, that's awesome!
Not a bad deal. Not a bad deal at all.
Rick, as always, you're a saint. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you very soon.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Rick from TC Paintball joining us once again. Always great. Holy cow. I just got a hot flash. My wife's always complaining about those too. Oh my God, I'm getting hot. It's so warm in here. She's been having hot flashes for like a decade now. Poor thing. I feel bad for her. She's like perspiring all over the place. Advertise on the Eric Zane Show podcast. Reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com if you want in. Thank you to the Kent County Health Department. Information about the WIC program is available by just reaching out to them at 616-632-7200 or going to accesskent.com/health. Excuse me. Excuse me. Again. Yeah, so with the WIC program, they're ensuring that the people will not go hungry. So maybe not you, but maybe someone you know or love, neighbor, relative, person through your school maybe. 616-632-7200. Point them in the direction of the Kent County Health Department. I'm pointing you in the direction of Tag Accounting. The clock is ticking. In fact, my tax day is Tuesday. Fuck. Tag Accounting, they run on the show until March 31. So that means there is time, but you got to call now, 616-301-9516 for Tag Accounting to get your taxes done from Tag. Anywhere in the United States, Tag Accounting can help you. Forget your stupid programs that you use. Forget having your aunt's, cousin's, relative, friend's dog do it for you. Do it from the certified public accountant of choice on the Eric Zane Show podcast for years. Troy did my personal taxes for years, and now he does my personal and business taxes. 616-301-9516. I want to get to this O.J. Simpson thing. I didn't even what do you call it? Play it for you leading up to Rick, and that was something that I wanted Rick to check out. But this is what I'm talking about. And first of all, on that trial of Alex Murdaugh, I'm just going to go with Murdaugh with a K sounding at the end of it. This psychopath is one of these people who is quite effective at lying. Seems very believable. All right? And compelling. But make no mistake, this is a horrible, horrible liar. And so effective at it that he can convince people that he didn't do this, but of other things, but not this. His guilt was obvious. I heard the Attorney General who was prosecuting the case in South Carolina on the Today Show today saying, they said, what was the death nail? And they said Alex Murdaugh was the death nail. As soon as he got on the stand, he was done. In addition to that, the video of him, like minutes before the wife and the son were brutally killed, he was with them at that kennel on their property. And he had lied about being there. And then it was like, well, hey, hang on. We got this video of you. You were there. Oh, yeah, I did lie about that. That is the one lie I've told. Jesus. So he's guilty. He'll be sentenced sometime today. I'm not even sure if they figured out what the motive was or the theory of why he did that. And apparently he had been like committing financial crimes to the people that use him for his expertise. And I think he was in some type of desperate, I think it might have been something to do with insurance money. No one really knows for sure, but this psychopath is fucking gone. Thank God. audio check, video check, of all the people to weigh in on it. My God. O.J. Simpson.
Hey, Twitter world, it's me, yours truly. Well, a whole lot of people are asking me what I think about this Alex Murdaugh trial. I don't know why they think I'm an expert.
Oh, no. I don't know why they think I'm an expert. Hey, Twitter world, it's me, yours truly. People want me to weigh in on this double murder. I don't know why they think I would be an expert.
Alex Murdaugh trial. I don't know why they think I'm an expert.
It's because, you cut the heads off two people.
On it, but I got to admit, when he took the stand, a guy who's an habitual liar, I did watch.
Just like I watched Nicole and what's the guy's name? Ron. Nicole and Ron bleed out. I watched this trial.
When the trial first started, I watched him take the stand, and I thought it was probably a mistake because the guy is an admitted liar.
Yeah, admitted liars should never take the stand. That's what I did.
And it's hard for me to think he can be on the stand 5, 6, 7, 8 days without.
I kind of wish that at one of these he would just say, yeah, I did it. I mean, it's not like anything can happen to him. It's that whole double jeopardy thing.
Lying. Question is, what did he lie about?
The fact that he can do all of this with a straight face convinces me that this is the greatest actor of our generation. I've never seen anybody with the acting chops that the Juice has, and he's getting better. He is actually at peak performance right now.
But lying and stealing money is a little different than murder.
Take it from me, murder's bad.
I realized in watching them testify what he was doing, he was just trying to relate to one or two of those jurors that he was a good.
Now, if you can get a glove that might have shrunk in size because it was wet and try to jam it on your hand, you don't need to take the stand.
Oh, boy, he was one of them. And I'm not sure.
No glove on hand, don't take the stand, I say.
He didn't succeed in doing that. I am not qualified to really say if the guy did it or he didn't do it.
Now, that's lie number 500. I'm not qualified? No, you're absolutely qualified.
If a juror missed an hour of testimony, they no longer qualified. I've missed days that I haven't watched this. But from what I've seen, do I think it's more likely that he did it? Yes. But more likely equals.
Just like everybody says that I more than likely killed those two people.
Reasonable doubt. From what I know.
Is everything about murder. I wrote the book on it. Didn't he actually write a book called If I Did It? And in the book, he wrote If I Did It and then wrote how he did it. And then he ended each sentence with If I Did It.
I would have to say there's a lot of reasonable doubt there. He's going to go to.
Okay. We need to protect this man. He has gone past. No one hates him anymore. We all love him. He is the most lovable murderer on the planet. And I think some network, like a big network, like ABC, NBC, CBS. First, I was just like a little network. I don't know, maybe a Netflix show. Anytime, have OJ's stories of murder. Everyone would watch that.
Go to jail for all the thievery he did, stealing millions of dollars of people. I think he should be looked at more about the death of his housekeeper a few years ago, where he ended up with over $4 million of the insurance money. I think they should take a
See, he knows his shit. He is an expert on murder.
Hard look at that. But it wouldn't surprise me in the least if this guy beats this case.
Just like I beat Nicole before I killed her.
He's going to go to jail. He's going to go to jail for all the money he stole. I'm curious there because I got 9 to 33 years. 33 years because I caught some guys trying to sell my stolen property and I yelled at them.
Oh, no. Oh, fuck. I got 9 to 33 years. Yeah, Rick just told us that was a makeup call.
Even they didn't think I should go to jail, and the judge gave me, Jackie Glass gave me 9 to 33 years. So I'm trying to see what this guy is going to get. I was up there with guys who had robbed casinos and robbed banks.
And killed their ex-wives.
2 or 3 times, and they had half the time or a third of the time that I got.
So this is more about you, OJ. The only reason why he's doing this bit, okay, the first half of it was his so-called analysis of the case, and now it's about him. Yeah, I'm curious to see what Alex Murdaugh got. I got 9 to 33 years for killing 2 people.
So I'm always curious to see what kind of time these guys get for stealing millions of dollars. When I caught guys stealing my stolen property, the state of California, after I was convicted, ruled it was my property, and they gave it to me, so I have it now. So how do you go to jail for catching guys who are trying to sell your stolen property? Well,
no. You're right. Well, it's because you were found guilty, and they wanted to make sure that at some point, just like what Rick said, in fact, you should say it here. We all know it was a makeup call for killing 2 people.
Nevertheless, I do think this guy more than likely did it. But once again, more than likely, to me, is tantamount to reasonable doubt. It would work against him in a civil trial, but I don't know if it's going to work against him in this criminal trial. Wouldn't surprise me in the least if he beats this. I'm just saying, take care.
I'm just saying, take care. Oh, my God. And if you were to look at the comments, there's a lot of people on the comments. Before, when the juice would post shit, okay? Everybody would be just ripping him a new one. It's not nearly as bad now. Like, there's a lot of people that like him. Oh, my God. Aram says, didn't Ron Sr. take the rights to the book and make the font of the word if really small in the title? I don't know. That would be Fred Goldman, the dad. Yes, that did happen. The cover basically says, I did it. Zane, I want you to do commentaries like OJ. Hey, Twitch world, it's yours truly. Oh, my God. That is a mess. If I did it, Ryan says, the gloves would have most certainly, definitely have fit. The whole glove thing, if you remember, the glove had been wet and it shrunk and it was all dried and crusty and shitty. And the juice was wearing like latex gloves on his hands before he tried to slide his hand into the now shrunken glove, which didn't help in the putting the glove on. I don't know how the dumb shit prosecutors couldn't see that one coming. If you just took a look at the shriveled up glove and this massive hand, they're like, yeah, this is going to look bad because, yes, this is the glove that he wore when he murdered this people, but the integrity of the glove from back then is much different than what it is now. It's a bad deal. This is going to make it look like the gloves don't fit. I don't know how they didn't see that coming. What a shit show. All right. Still cannot believe he goes out of his way to stick his finger in everybody's eye. Jesus. All right. I have an update on the story that we talked about on the show but I cannot remember if it was on the Patreon or the free podcast. But it was the Florida high school in Palm Coast, Florida, where the 17-year-old, 6'6", 270-pound student attacked the teacher's aide. The teacher's aide had taken away the kid's video game, and he went bonkers. The point was made, though, that the 17-year-old was special needs. Now, when I first saw the story, I didn't know that the kid was special needs, and I said they need to take him out in the street and shoot him execution style in the back of the head. But then Maureen said, well, wait a minute now. He was, there's an issue there. And I'm like, okay, well, it kind of changes it. I think now that this is the fault of the student, of the aide. You don't, this is your own fault. You can't go taking video games from kids who are that big and strong and special needs. Okay? You got to, it's survival of the fittest here. You got to think your way through this. You can't be tough, act like a tough ass with a person who's like one of the biggest humans on the planet. By the way, I said also that the Cleveland Browns should sign this guy to a long-term contract as an edge rusher. Now, I did see it with my own eyes. They said that this is a special needs student. But this story out of Florida, it's a TV news story covering this, doesn't say anything about this. It doesn't say a word about this student being special needs. Also in the video, which I don't know if you'll see it here because they paused it, the Marine recruiter that ran onto the scene, Aaron points it out, had a really slow reaction time while this guy was pummeling this chick. She's now out of the hospital. She's okay. Kenny adds, just don't take video games away from anyone. No, I think that is... that he says he react the same way. Yeah, I believe that. Let's get into this story here about what is happening now. As you can see, there's a little bit more that's happened.
Shows a 6'6", 270-pound 17-year-old student push his teacher's aide at Matanzas High School to the ground, where she goes unconscious. We stopped the video before it got more violent. Deputies say he was upset she took his Nintendo Switch in class. Flagler County deputies arrested the student, but it's not the first time he's been in handcuffs. According to court records, the 17-year-old was charged with battery in March of 2019, again a month later in April 2019, then in June of that same year, and again this month. Those court records also show he was in the Department of Juvenile Justice's Diversion Alternative Program and completed his program. Fast forward to today, the state attorney's office has since transferred the teen to adult court for prosecution on these new charges, a decision Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley is on board with.
This individual is 6 months from being age 18. It was also a very brutal attack on this teacher's aide that fortunately did not result in a fatality.
Andrew Spar with the Florida Education Association says this case shows him there needs to be more help for troubled students.
We need to be having a conversation about what kinds of supports were in place for this particular student or any students who may have shown past histories in which they have had altercations with others.
Sheriff Staley says there used to be a specific school for violent youth offenders, but it was shut down.
We had a school resource deputy assigned to that basically mini school, if you will.
Yeah, that's what, every community has those schools for assholes. All the shitheads go to those schools.
And that's been eliminated. So maybe that's something the district should look at.
And we did look into why that school was closed and found that back in 2013, Flagler County voters failed to pass a 50-cent property tax levy that would have paid for the school for troubled teens. At first, the budget for the school was majorly slashed and eventually closed down. In the studio, Stephanie Buffamonte, Fox 35 News.
Her name is Stephanie Buffamonte, but it sounded like she said Muffamonte. Okay, so no word in that story about this being a special needs student. So now I'm confused. Chris describes it as the Sunrise Diversions Alternate School. Yeah, it always has a New Beginnings type of, which I think is a restaurant in town. Now I'm confused. Was this a special needs student? Mr. Tophus Barrel Ass says it's a Fox station. They're only going to give one side of that story. That's true. I thought that too. It says trouble doesn't mean special needs, according to Ryan. He could just be not good at taking tests. True. But what we read earlier yesterday was, in fact, it said special needs. The NBC version, the NBC station says special needs in the title. So I don't know, man. If this is the special needs scenario, I don't think you can prosecute this kid. I think the teacher's aide could possibly sue. Cole writes, let's get it special needs in here. My God. All right. Special needs or not. This is what I feel. Let's just say for this discussion, this is a special needs student. If you do that type of, when the other three incidents happened, that kid should not be allowed to go to the school because, he's a walking weapon. And if he has a tendency to be violent, no, you can't do that. That kid has to stay home. Doesn't even need weapons, according to Tophus. He can just throw a car at someone. Exactly. You cannot put other people's health in jeopardy. Get that fucker out of there. Jesus. In Florida, they'll probably just shoot him, though. Cole says special needs strength. Some would say R word strength. Yeah. I believe that that's actually a thing. Ryan says, I have questions. Why is there a military recruiter at a special needs school? I'm going with trouble. No, you dickhead. It's just he was in with the rest of the school. There's several other students that are there that most of them are not special needs. At least I think. Or it could be an entire special needs school full of R-word Marines. Now, that would be a fighting force. If the whole school was R-word Marines. Ryan says, fine, you dick fuck. Maybe the recruiter took his time because he was evaluating his abilities. Oh, my God. You ridiculous asshole. Tophus says this kid would make a great cop. Recruiting his way down. High school grad or GED no longer needed. I didn't know that. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an update on my fine county that I live in, Ottawa County. When I do discuss Ottawa County, I do try to give the Reader's Digest version of the background. There was a lot of people pissed off about mask mandates and coronavirus and COVID and shots and schools, kids wearing masks. So they mobilized, formed a political action committee, raised a bunch of money to support candidates that would think like they do, which is our word. So they won, and now they run the county commission. They also run many of the school boards where I live and make life difficult for everybody. Then they went ahead in the county I live in, Ottawa County, and tried to fire the health administrator for the health department. And they wanted to replace her because she's, normal. They wanted to replace her with someone who thinks like them. So they called up some idiot who runs a heating and cooling business, not Joe Martinez, and said, yeah, you're the new health director. And they fired her. But then she said, hold on, motherfuckers. And filed a lawsuit and tried to get like a restraining order or an injunction or something like that to keep herself on the job, And so then they sat down this week and said, well, wait a minute. We have reviewed that before we all took office, this person was brought in, this director of health, and they didn't follow the rules when they made her the health director, so it doesn't apply. So our firing stands. Now she's fighting for her job, saying she was fired unjustly, and well, this is a huge victory because check this out: she is staying on the job as of right now.
Backed members of the Ottawa County Board of Commissioners who are being sued by the county health director.
A judge has temporarily blocked those commissioners from firing Adeline Hambly. News 8's Demetria Sanders is here now with why her attorneys requested the temporary restraining order and what happens next.
Well, the restraining order comes as Hambly believes that the county board is looking to remove her as health officer without justification. An attorney representing the county disagreeing that the judge's
you got to have a good reason. It's not like radio.
Ruling was necessary at this time.
It was disappointing that the judge did not hear from all sides before issuing the order, because this is an order that was completely unnecessary and not required.
David Kallman, one of the attorneys representing Ottawa County and its commissioner, says he's disappointed that a judge issued an
This guy right here is the big asshole, this Joe Moss.
Order that blocks the county commission from firing county health officer Adeline Hambly. Attorneys for Hambly requested the temporary restraining order after the board narrowly voted to revise the record of the December resolution where Hambly was appointed.
Municipal bodies speak through their motions and order and the resolutions that they pass. And if they're wrong, they have to be corrected to reflect what was actually done at the meeting. That's all that happened. Nothing.
This asshole, this attorney, he's the guy who, when the stupid haircut guy in Owasso was, shut down, and then he wouldn't shut down. This was the guy who'd represent him. He's a total patriot, okay? He's the guy who, when the dumb slut in Holland wouldn't close her restaurant, the Polish bitch, this guy was the one representing her. Now he's the attorney for Ottawa County because these scumbags turned to him for their legal advice.
Was changed.
But a day after the resolution was corrected, Kallman sent Hambly's attorney a letter saying the previous Board of Commissioners never appointed her as the permanent Ottawa County health officer because a second vote wasn't held after she was approved by the state. The judge's ruling granting the restraining order was made just 2 minutes before Hambly was reportedly supposed to meet with County Administrator John Gibbs and 2 attorneys. Kallman claiming there was no reason for concerns that the meeting was called to fire Hambly.
It could not have been done. The executive has no power to do that. Only the board can hire or fire a health officer.
The new slate of Ottawa Impact-backed commissioners want to replace Hambly with Nathaniel Kelly, who has been out.
Look at him. Look at this dude. This fucking AC, heating and cooling idiot.
spoken against COVID-19 mitigations like masking, law expert Gerald Fisher says boards do have the ability to fire a health officer under Michigan law.
If in the board's opinion, which is a big thing in the board's opinion, the officer or agent is incompetent to exercise properly the duties of office.
Fisher says whether or not a potential firing in this case would be legal is up to how the law is considered.
Arguably, anyway, you could take the position that if the board, by majority vote, says this is our opinion, that may be enough. But that would be for the court to interpret.
I would love for them to feel that way and then get in front of a judge and say, well, other than you're just voting that she should be fired, tell me why. Like specifically, what has she done? Did she photocopy her tits on the machine? Did she urinate in your drinks in the fridge? What did she do? What did she do that wasn't professional in your opinion? And let the judge decide. And I hope it goes that way.
Now, a hearing on whether or not the restraining order will be extended will be held on March 13th. We have also reached out to Hambly's attorney and have not heard back.
Oh, man, this is remarkable. Jesus. Ryan with, yes, the good old photocopy her tits maneuver. Toofus, for fuck's sake, politics from the county level on up are all shit. Chris says gaslighting lessons from the lawyer. Toofus adds, look at that chin. Concerning the lawyer, you can tell he's a little weasel fuck by the lack of chin. I wish the judge was that 17-year-old kid and the bailiff told him that the no-chin scum fuck stole his switch. Oh, my God. Very interesting. 11 minutes of exercise is all you need per day. And it's not like you need to do anything really intense. According to an article that just came out from the British Journal of Sports Medicine, peer-reviewed, this is the definitive thing that you should make time for. 11 minutes a day. That's all you need to lower your risk of premature death. This is excellent news for some of you who are absolutely doing nothing. I'm not even doing 11 minutes every day. You need to set a goal for 11 minutes every day. Now, what are we talking about here? Pumping iron, running as fast as you can. And what does it do? The 11 minutes a day of moderate physical activity can lower the risk of heart disease, stroke, and a number of cancers. Now, that's nothing new. But what is new is the 11 minutes a day. Oh, my God. That's taking a walk. The study's authors, again, peer-reviewed in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, says, hey, don't work too hard. Do not. Brisk walk. Oh, my God. Or if you like to dance, bike, easygoing game of tennis, or a hike, these are all great examples of moderate exercise. You can do more. 11 minutes a day. Moderate activity does not have to involve what we normally think of exercise, such as sports or running. Sometimes replacing some habits is all that is needed. For example, try to walk or cycle to your work or study place instead of using a car, or engage in active play with your kids or grandkids. Doing activities you enjoy and that are easy to include in your weekly routine is an excellent way to become more active. 11 minutes a day. Reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease by 17% and cancer by 7%. And when you get old like me, you want this. Because when you sit in front of your doctor like I do, and he looks at, like, he has a chart, and it's just math. He's like, okay, your weight is this, your cholesterol is that. You have increased your odds of having a life-changing or death-causing heart attack by 41%, Eric, as of right now. That's fucking terrible. That's terrifying. And that's happened. I'm like, oh, my God. And then I feel bad for about 8 minutes, and then I go eat McDonald's. 22 minutes resulted in even lower risks. Now, forget about looking good. We're talking about you're going to die otherwise. 22 minutes, 23% lower chance of early death. 23%. Oh, my God. Talks a little bit more about boring shit that I don't want to talk about. But then it says the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention in the U.S. advises adults to get at least 150 minutes of moderate, like we just described, per week. What does that work out to? Maybe a little more. That's 21 minutes a day. So it's on par. And 75 or 75 minutes of vigorous physical activity a week, in addition to 2 days of strength training. Now, that doesn't mean you're like pumping iron. You could be doing weightless squats or wall sits or something like that. Some of those fucking elastic bands, light weights, okay? This is what you got to think about when you're an old bastard like me. But you know what? I have another story, too, that goes hand in hand with this. A physician, a New York doctor, is warning you to stop running. He says running causes premature aging. Now, he's a plastic surgeon. So, I mean, take it with a grain of salt. But this doc, and he's an old fucking doc. He's like 83 years old. But he says that there's something that can happen that shows, you can see it right in your face, that you are a runner. Check this out.
Hi, it's Dr. Ember. We're talking about things that prevent aging.
Okay, he's obviously terribly boring.
Aging versus things that accelerate aging. And I have a pet peeve, and half my patients love me for it and half my patients hate me for it. But it's about running. And it's perfectly fine to run a little bit every day or run a couple of miles a few times a week. But I want to start this little talk by saying, have you ever seen a long distance, long time runner that didn't have a gaunt old face?
Joe Morin. He looks like a fucking bag of wet dicks.
That's what happens. In addition to the gaunt old face, your knees go, your ankles go, your back goes, and it's kind of dumb. So if you want to run a little bit, terrific, but no impact or low impact aerobics is really the way to get your exercise.
Okay. Now, all right. Now, this would be tough for me because I like to run. I like to run really hard when I run. Now, I've gotten very slow over time, but I don't know, man. I don't know if I could stop doing that. I ran hard yesterday. I did half-mile repeats. Now, I don't have a problem with the gaunt face because, hey, I'm too hit or miss on my training, and I still eat like a fucking moron half the time. So I think there is a way to combat the gaunt face. Only half commit to the running and still try to eat like shit. A lot of people that are people spoke to on this story said, well, I'm not stopping. I guess I'll just have to look like that. I love running. It's therapeutic for me, and I feel amazing after a good run. I'm addicted to the runner's high. I guess I'll look old but feel great. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, you got to keep it up. And this is look at this woman says here, personal trainer here. I completely agree with you. A woman commented, 44 with 2 hip replacements. I used to run 6 miles a day. Yeah, I don't know if I can. I don't know how I would handle that. It would be terrible. Jesus. And I know that when I get done running the next day, my knees hurt and I can barely get up the steps. Holy shit. So I don't know. TC paintball. Hey, Rick, his knees are bad. It's because he's playing paintball all the time. We heard from Rick earlier. Schedule an event with TC Paintball online at tcpaintballgr.com. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV, 616-532-6600. Love them so much. Take your cars there to get them repaired in West Michigan. 616-532-6600. Ask about the free loaner car program, early bird drop-off, late bird pickup, all good. Fantastic place to get your vehicles repaired. Please mention my name when you go to Irvine's. And mention my name when you, of course, go to all of the sponsors. I appreciate that very much. Tufus says full incline on a treadmill for 11 minutes. Better on the knees. Ryan says asshole of the day nominee, special needs psycho who fucked up the poor lady's body to save Mario on his widow Nintendo. No. I think she deserved that. Your asshole of the day, brought to you by TC Paintball. I don't know how to spell it, so I'm just going to spell it the way I say it. Alex Murdaugh is your asshole of the day. Simply for killing his family, for fuck's sake. And, there was one kid that he didn't kill. There was like a one in the courtroom. And he, if you're that kid, what side of the court do you sit on? Who do you support? Your dad or the people that want your dad to go to prison? Man, that's rough. Way to go, you fucking asshole. All right. That is it. Talk to you on Patreon. Thanks again for being here, folks. Till next time, thank you and goodbye.
Did you know that yearly Medicaid renewals will start again soon? This means millions of people who were enrolled in Medicaid during the pandemic may no longer be eligible for coverage. If this may impact you, the good news is you have options. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield can help answer your questions so you can find an affordable health plan for you and your family. We want you to feel confident you're covered. Click to learn more. Policy exclusions and limitations apply. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Community Insurance Company.
At Kroger, we want our fresh produce to meet your expectations, which is why we're dedicated to doing up to a 27-point inspection on our fruits and veggies, checking for things like scarring. In fact, only the best produce like zesty oranges and crisp carrots reach our shelves. Because when it comes to fresh, our higher standards mean fresher produce. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Save big on your favorites with the Buy 5 or More, Save $1 each sale. Simply buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.